Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Fate Extra for the PSP. Not too long of an episode today. Those not filled in spaces on the map are bothering me. Oh. Anyway. Not a long episode today, mostly because this was the end of my previous session. I would have recorded more, but I would have recorded more to make this video longer, but it was around 20 minutes long and it ended off at a decent point. For these guys, it might be just best for you to do break all the time. I don't even know why I did attack. I was definitely afraid that I was gonna lose it all here, by the way, again. And I would have to do this entire floor all over again. Well, fortunately that is not the case, and we do alright. I need to get a new microphone. I have a Blue Yeti studio microphone. The only reason I got this microphone was because it was the only good microphone that I could find in stores near me. And at the time I couldn't buy stuff online, so that's why this mic, this is a decent microphone, but there are better mics to use, that I could use, I should say. But for right now, I'll just use this mic. And right now I don't have the money to spend on new equipment. Well, I suppose I could spend the money, but then I wouldn't have money for anything else. I'd be broke. Oh, I was gonna say something. When we first encountered that enemy there, I wasn't sure if we fought two of them in the last episode. I made a mental note to mention it, but I didn't mention it until much later. I wasn't sure if we fought last episode, so that's why if I did, that's why I showed it again. Anyway, there's Alice. You don't, if you want to get all the items on this floor on this day, you don't want to chase after Alice. Well, you don't want to follow, you want to chase after Alice, but you don't want to go right to her after this. Well, I think the game gives you a chance to get the rest of the items, besides, you know, the cipher key or whatever. Cipher key, cipher trigger. I forget what it's called. Why does it have two names? Anyway, there's the bane of my existence, but we're going to ignore that for now and get the item over here. Magical crystal shard. I believe that recovers a decent amount of MP. Forget if it's for the I think it's only for masters. But it doesn't matter. So there's Alice. Sure. Uh-huh. Oh. There's two Alice's, guys. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, okay. I think this little girl here is a little bit too crazy, if you ask me. No, just to make sure here. Yeah, it is recording my microphone, alright. Who's he? Well, I know who he is. You guys don't know who he is. And that's he. He looks very confused. Now, unless you grind it a lot, you have no chance of winning against this guy. And I'm pretty sure you can only beat him with Saber or Archer at this point. Maybe Caster, but the amount of damage he does, I doubt you could beat him with Caster. Which might be possible, but it is possible to defeat him. But I wouldn't recommend doing it unless you're really over leveled. So the best thing is to run at this point if you're at my level or a much lower level. Perhaps I could have beaten him, but there's no real point in doing it besides getting the cipher key, whatever it's called, a day early. And even then, you're still gonna have to get an item that'll be mentioned later in this episode. You're still gonna have to get it. Like you never defeated that guy, so there really is no point. But you can do it if you wanna. I don't know. If you want bragging rights, I guess. If this was a PS3 game or maybe even a Vita game, that would have been an achievement probably. I did find something out. I wasn't too sure of it. I mentioned it in another video, but I don't remember which video it was. But Summon Night 5 and Class of Heroes 3 are both coming out later this year, which I find kind of interesting. I like Summon Night 1 and 2. I played them both. I think I tried playing Summon Night the original on my channel a long time ago. I believe that was before I had a microphone. I might go back to doing that after Fate Extra. I'm unsure. Well, no, after Fate Extra is Guruman, A Monstrous Adventure, which I've already started recording. I've gotten around. I'd say I'm close to halfway done with that game. No. That game will be after Fate Extra. I've only gotten the raws for it, and the raws aren't done yet. But when I say raws, I just mean the raw footage. So the raw footage of me, playing through the game. I don't have that completed yet, so I'm gonna start the actual commentary recording for those for that series yet. The only episode that's done is the first episode, and that was just to get the footage off of my main hard drive. What I need to do is I need to get more hard drives and just put my walkthroughs on it in case something happens to my channel. So if my channel ever goes down for whatever reason, I can have a new channel. I can start up a new channel and have the videos immediately uploaded to those channels. But as of right now, I have no way of storing videos that I've made, which is probably very, very bad. I find it kind of odd and interesting. Not odd, I understand why people would do it, but it's interesting that the most viewed videos of a series are the first episode and the last episode. I just find that interesting because I've noticed that with my videos that the first part gets a lot of views, second part gets some views, then every part after that gets less and less and less and less views. There's the odd part that has more views than the previous one for whatever reason. And then as I reach the end of the game, or when I reach the end of the game, the finale has about the same amount of views as the first episode, or a little bit less because it hasn't been out as long, but it gets up there. I think for the most part it's because people just want to see how the game ends. I don't know why, but or perhaps they're stuck on the final part of the game and don't know how to get past it, so they watch that. Who knows? I sure as hell don't. I think back and think about a lot of the games that I originally wanted to do, and this game was actually I actually wanted to do this game quite a while ago. A few years back, I think. 2 years ago, maybe even a year ago. Forget. It was around the time when I actually got recording capabilities for my PSP. And I am recording all of my footage here on a real PSP. This isn't an emulator like was La Pucelle. I fixed the freezing issue. So any PSP games are recorded on an actual PSP. And I was going to move La Pucelle to an actual PSP, but I'm not sure if the save files are compatible with actual PSPs. I gotta figure that out and move the save file if it's possible. So if I want to go back to La Pucelle, I'll go back to it. But like I was saying, when I originally got recording capabilities for my PSP, I wanted to record this game because I played it a little bit. And I found this to be a fun game to record. But then the issue happened with my PSP, where it would freeze whenever when I was in the middle of recording. So I thought of I tried to fix it back then, but I couldn't, so I just gave up on it. And then recently, I was messing around. I was trying to record some Super Robot Wars. Well, I was trying to record PSP games in general, because I couldn't think of what to do after Mega Man Star Force 3 Black Ace, which was the last series that had, last full series that was mainly, well, was only live commentary. Mega Man worked for that because each episode wasn't too long and I could do it that way, but for an RPG, which requires a lot of, well, for this kind of game, editing is required. And it's just much more easier to do it post. It's just much easier to do things post. For me, I find it's much easier to do things that way. But yeah, the issue that I had with my PSP recordings, I have custom firmware on my PSP, and I use a program called Remote Joy Lite, which is only which you can only do on a custom firmware enabled PSP. So the issue I was having was that there are I forget what it's called. For some reason I want to say drivers, but it's not drivers. You can change the way there are different, let's call it modes that your PSP can run. Is it called drivers? I forget. That can run anyway, that your PSP can run what was it? I forget. But either way, I fixed the reason that the reason my PSP wasn't able to record stuff. Okay, now I remember. One of the issues was freezing, but the main issue was that the frame rate would be really slow on the actual recording, so I can really use it. And how I fixed it was I set my clock speed to 300 and something on my PSP. The games would run normally, but I'd have but the recordings would actually work just fine. Well, I'm back after being interrupted. And I suppose it really doesn't matter anymore. You have to do this little chain of trades here to get the Vorpal Blade. I'm pretty sure it's required to get through the game, so do it. It's extremely easy, so there's no reason not to do it. So anyway, after fixing the recording issues with my PSP, I decided, hey, why not play this game? Started playing it for a bit. I was having fun with it. So I decided, why not? Let's start uploading it. Oh yeah. The next series after this, like I said, should be Gurman, A Monstrous Adventure. After that might be Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1. Originally was going to have Vanguard Princess. Some of you may have seen that that I uploaded the first episode of that, but then immediately deleted it. I abandoned that series because like all the music was getting copyright claimed left and right in that game. So I did research, and it was the company that did own the music in that game. So what I did is I just deleted it and decided to abandon it, because I would have to mute the music that was in every ending of that game, and I'm pretty sure nobody would want that. So I decided I'm not gonna do this because it's just not worth it. Gurman should be next. After Gurman, probably would be Hyperdimension Neptunia. Never played that game before, so it's going to be a new experience for both of us. If you guys haven't played it before either. I heard it was a decent RPG, so let's see. after that might be Summon Nights 1 and 2, and then maybe 5 if I play it and I feel like it's a good game. Because if I can record it while I'm playing it, then I have no reason not to upload the game. I was gonna mention some more things about what I was gonna record, but the episode's over. So I'll see you guys again next time. But before I do, I suppose I mentioned you don't want to fight all the enemies in the arena at this point because you're gonna go fight that berserker creature. So I would recommend saving up your MP for yeah, I would recommend saving your MP for that berserker creature. That's all I wanted to say. So I'll see you guys again next time, whenever that is. Bye.